Welcome to Life Expressions Podcast. I'm your host, Shari Hineti Elon. This is where you get to listen to inspirational stories that would keep you moving, growing, and just doing the things that you love to do while excelling at living a meaningful life. And I'm glad to have with me today Kirandeep Khaira, also known as Katie, founder of Destination One Consulting, a leader who has helped connect people not just to jobs, but to opportunities, purpose, and possibility. Welcome to Life Expressions, Katie.
Thank you, Cherie. It's an honor to be here.
I am so glad to have this conversation finally with you. Katie, for those hearing your story for the first time, who are you behind and beyond your title as founder of Destination One?
It's a deep question. Who am I? I am someone who deeply cares about people, who deeply cares about community, who cares about impact. So behind just being a founder of Destination One, what I felt over the years, it was more so about just numbers, growth, revenue, run. And life just changed after I became a full-time caregiver of my mother. So who am I behind Destination One is a person who just cares about people and what they do and how they're making an impact because life is short. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Wow. What inspired you to build Destination One, Katie?
So Destination One it started from, it was a fluke. I actually was hired by one of my heads of Citibank at one point in time, years ago, years and years ago, almost more than 2 decades. And she'd asked me for help. This is me taking you back like 20 plus years when she'd asked me to help find some people jobs. One of the guys who got a job, his father being a group captain in the Air Force, which is like a full colonel in an army, it was a very cultural thing. This is back in India, I'm talking
Yeah.
about. And very cultural thing. Older gentleman fell at my feet. Thank you. You saved my son's life. Cherie, I still remember that day. I was maybe 21, 22. It just changed my entire perspective. And when I came home, I told my mother, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get people jobs. And people are the ones who make an impact. And I was able to help somebody whose life got changed. And his father says, so this is what I'm going to do. Long after that, fast forward, destination was all about helping people here as well, but very diversified in many different industries. Until again, I will take you back to the story where I was a full-time caregiver of my mother and looking at all the healthcare workers who were exhausted and overworked. She held my wrist and she just asked me a question saying, or rather asking, why don't you help them find people? That really changed my entire narrative, my entire outlook of how I saw who I was and what I wanted to achieve and do through Destination One. So this is where Destination One is today, is all about helping people, companies, making the right people fit into the right roles, because only then can they do what they do, make the impact, help the communities grow. And yeah, this is really what keeps me going with Destination One is
Yeah. So,
finding.
do you say that you started with finding caregivers for hospitals?
No. So this is initially we used to recruit for any and every industry under the sun that you can think of. This is when I first initially started Destination One in Canada.
Yes.
But when I became a caregiver, it, while living in the hospital for almost 2.5 years, I saw what was happening
Yes.
where workers are so overworked and so forth. So I am right now what Destination One is doing is it working with the impact sectors, be it healthcare, government, nonprofits, municipalities, people who touch our lives in way, shape, or form directly or indirectly. And these are positions all across the different sectors. That's what we are
Yeah.
doing now.
Okay, that's good to know, Katie. When did Destination One exactly start?
August 8th, 2013, I incorporated in 2012, but August 8th, 2013 was my first day when I shared the office with four other people, with 4 rooms, and that's when it started.
Wow. That's around 13 years ago. So, what does success mean to you today compared to when you first started?
Wow. Okay. Today's success feels very internal to me, and it's more meaningful. It's all about building something more aligned with the values. It's about the impact that we create. It's about the people. It's not just about putting people in a job. It's about what are they going to do when they're put in certain positions. So, ironically, as I get older, the more I realize success without meaning feels empty. It's more about finding people, putting them in the right place with the right organization, and really organizations having the right people to follow through with the mission and the vision and the dreams that they have for their organizations. And in return, really about it's about the end goal. How are we making a difference by doing everything that we are doing?
Yeah, I love that, Katie. And I would like to speak to that because Faris, who once worked with Destination One, reached out to me out of nowhere on LinkedIn and asked me if I was interested in a position that looks like a perfect fit for me. And that was with Elizabeth Fry Society of Greater Vancouver. And the rest is history. So I speak to what you're saying, that you find the right people who have values that are aligned to the mission and values of the organization that you work with. And I would like to say that is definitely true. But what were some of the hardest moments in your entrepreneurial journey, Katie? And what kept you going?
Well, there were periods where business almost became secondary, because life demanded something bigger. Me personally speaking, and being a caregiver for about 2.5 years, it really changes you mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And after having lost my mother, it really changed my perspective. That was
Sorry
a
about
life
that.
turning moment. Thank you. That was a life turning moment for me. It was about rebuilding myself more than anything else. And entrepreneurship is a part of me. But the way it looked before, where you're just chasing numbers and growth, to now being in a different position because of a life changing movement. There are ups and downs in life, right? It will
Yes,
never be a straight line. So it's
for
it's all
sure.
about taking those lessons and deciding what do you want to do with those lessons. So I would say I'm patient, definitely more conscious, more sensitive towards people. Life changed, Sheree. Life
Yeah.
just changed, and entrepreneurial journey is a part of your personal journey. It's just not one. It's how it changes you over the years. There's a beautiful saying, pain changes your definition of urgency. So from chasing number to actually chasing impact is a very different mindset.
Yeah, from chasing numbers to chasing impact. I love that. Can you say that you have made a positive impact so far while chasing it?
I am trying every single day. You are a fine example, as you mentioned, finding you for the Elizabeth Fry Society, which is such a great organization, and the impact that it creates. It's about one person at a time, one
Agree.
mission at a time. So we are trying, we are work in progress, and we have got a long way to go.
That's amazing. Very humble for you to say that. Katie, let's talk about your career, your growth, and of course, your experience as a recruiter. What truly makes someone stand out beyond their resume?
You can often teach skills to people, but it's much harder to learn the right mindset, the attitude and character. So it's it's a piece of paper, the resume and a job description. But what goes beyond a piece of paper is really knowing who the person is. It's a resume can tell you something about them, but a conversation will tell you who they are. So that is what I look for beyond a resume, by having those conversations. What are their goals? Where do they want to go? And why is it that they want to do something that they're opting to do? So it's the human behind that paper is what goes beyond a resume for me. Me in particular.
But I definitely agree with that. How can people confidently reinvent themselves when changing careers or rebuilding after setbacks?
It's a tricky question. How can they reinvent themselves? I'm trying to reinvent myself every single day, honestly. And I feel everybody is looking for their purpose in some way, shape, or form. When I wake up in particular, I'm always thinking, why am I here? What am I doing? So I read this beautiful book called Ikigai. Have you heard of the book called Ikigai, Shuri?
Ikigai?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
What a beautiful book. Iki
Yes.
means reason, Gai means for beings. It really changed the way I looked at things. And finding that internal happiness, because we're all in a rat race trying to run to something or the other. The contentment levels are different. Somebody wants a bigger house, somebody wants a bigger car, somebody wants this, somebody wants that. But where do you draw the line that, okay, peace becomes more important for you is a question that we all need to ask ourselves. As you said, how do people reinvent themselves when changing careers or rebuilding after setbacks? In particular, life happens. Industries change, health changes, family situations change, layoffs happen, and it's about finding the right people around you who can mentor you, who can uplift you, who can show you how they may have gone through a similar journey and how would they come back. It's about reinvention is about yourself
Yes.
more than anything else. It's not a career alone. It's about when you reinvent yourself, you will automatically reinvent your career. So, and you do not need to, have your entire life figured out at once. You always go for the next step closest
Yes.
to you. So, it's not one size fits all.
True.
Step at a time. We cannot figure out our entire life in one go. Things happen. Figure out what works for me. I meditate because if I had a life altering or life moving challenge or my experience that I went through, I had to find peace.
Yes.
My peace is I do meditation. I go to the gym. I surround myself with who I know absolutely no more than me. And podcasts are a big thing for me, Cherie. Do a podcast called Above Inspiration, which is beautiful, which tells me that life is what life is, and it can never be straight. If you want a life without problems, well, guess what? You're in for a wake up call that never happens.
Exactly.
So figure out yourself. Your career will automatically figure out, and by the end of the day, whatever you're going through shall pass.
Yes, I like that. First, you have said that this too shall pass. There's no one size fits all. You've got to figure it out one step at a time. And I take it that you meditate regularly. I think that is very important. And I would like to give my 2 cents here that whatever happens to us, what matters is not the circumstances around us, but how we respond to the circumstances, right? And reinventing yourself, you've mentioned as a recruiter yourself, when you reinvent yourself, you reinvent your career as well.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Why
100%.
is it important for us to reinvent sometimes or for yourself? You said maybe every day.
It's growth. We are not the same that we were about a year from now or 10 years. We all grow as humans, right? So we go through
Yes.
different experiences. So we grow. We honestly grow.
Yes. Katie, you meet people from all walks of life. What have you learned about the human potential?
Well, people are capable of far more than what they believe in. I will tell you that this applies to me first. And sometimes I used to limit myself. The first thing that would come out is, oh, I'm not able to do this. But that whole switch of telling myself all the time, I cannot do it. The first voice that comes out of your monkey mind, I call it the monkey mind, Cherie. The
Yeah.
monkey never stops, right? It's always
Yes.
jumping. It's always jumping. So it's about believing in the fact that anything is possible. If others have done it, so can you. Do not limit yourself. And that continuous affirmation of not limiting yourself is so important. It's
Yes.
called counter suggestion. I
Yes.
believe in one of the languages it was called, I'm trying to think of the book, A Secret, where it talks about counter suggestions. The minute your mind tells you that you can't, you've got to make a conscious decision to tell yourself, I I can
Yes.
and I can. So, I've seen people building themselves up, rebuilding themselves up after much bigger disastrous story. And we can never know the pain of someone else, unless you are going through something similar. And I have seen people go from self doubt to extraordinary leadership. Like if you
Yes.
listen to big people or really inspirational people like Tony Robbins, I admire that guy.
Yeah. Same here.
And Shri, one of the most beautiful things I have been listening to over and over again is I'll try to remember what the phrase is. You do not make the best sailors in calm waters. So you have to go through your ups and downs
True.
in order to be victorious by the end of the day. Yeah,
Yeah.
human potential often emerges in difficult seasons, not the easy ones, I say. So
I
we
agree.
resilient beings, we just have to keep the fight on.
Yeah, exactly. And I like the fact that you also read or have read The Secret. Is that by Rhonda Byrne?
It's my mother used to talk about this, and I would make
Yeah.
fun because at that time I was very young, and I was like, okay, I don't know what this is, and what is the secret? But to give you a shorter answer, I tried reading that book, but I am learning more about the principles of secret,
Yes.
different podcasts or different people or the books that I read or try to read. I was never a reader. I started reading. I push myself now. I keep a 15-minute alarm for myself that I have to read how much I could read
Yes.
15 minutes so that I can stay disciplined and I can keep learning. So
Yeah.
to give you the answer, I have watched there was something on Netflix. I think there was a documentary on secret.
Yeah.
I
I
think
haven't watched that, but I have read the book, The Secret, and its sequel because it is a series and it
okay.
is truly powerful. That brings to mind one of the greatest quotes that I have learned from my mentor, Peter Legg. You become what you think about most of the time. And going back to what you said as well, that it is our mind that limits us sometimes. And so it is important to think beyond our fears, right? Not to limit ourselves. And because we are what we think. If we think we can or we think we can't, we are right. So we tell our minds and we are more powerful than that. I truly believe that. And I definitely agree with you, Katie. But for yourself, how do you personally stay motivated and grounded amidst the pressures of being an entrepreneur?
No day is the same, Cherie. And if you are hungry enough, you will figure out a way. So for me, meditate and counter suggestions are huge. Things are never going to be straight, and that's okay. It's about accepting and just knowing that this too shall pass. You know what? Nothing stays, nothing's permanent. If there are bad days, we'll have good days. And if good days are there, still be thankful and always be thankful. And honestly, just there is no set formula. But one thing I will tell you how to stay motivated is discipline.
Yeah,
Motivation is temporary because I
true.
could listen to a podcast, listen to a powerful speech. I'm on a go, 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 go. But what happens in a couple of hours? It all drains out.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm really stressed, I actually start connecting with clients, the previous clients, start having conversations. And once I have had the first call, the second call, the third call, the fourth call, I've already forgotten about that because I've gotten into a rhythm of the people. And that's one of the ways I keep myself motivated is by having the discipline. Just sit for the next couple of hours, put your blinders on and keep doing the same thing going to get me out of that monkey mind, where it's just telling me, oh, nothing's working out.
You're building a habit, right? And self discipline, as Brian Tracy would say, is the ability to keep doing the things that you need to do, even if you don't feel like doing it. And so that is very important.
Absolutely. I'm trying to remember one of the things I had heard and I'd put it out on LinkedIn as well. Your success lies in the most uncomfortable things that you wouldn't want to touch. And your dreams actually are there. So you have to continuously push yourself
Yeah.
do those uncomfortable things,
True.
because when you do those uncomfortable things, that it's a beautiful feeling, Cherie.
Yes,
It's bliss, it's meditative, and nobody can stay in the same mood at all times. It
I
is
agree.
possible. If we're not
Yes,
artificial intelligence,
yes.
we're humans by the end of the day.
Yeah, we need to get out of our comfort zones. Getting out of comfort zones would mean that we get to grow. And getting uncomfortable things allow us to be better at those things, right?
Totally.
Katie, if you could speak to your younger self, what would you say?
I don't need to prove myself to anybody. So, taking care of one's health, protecting your peace, surrounding yourself with the people that actually love you, and not running away when you're young. You're like always running out. I want to meet my friends. I want to do this. I want to do that. And trust that setbacks are not the end of the story. It's just the beginning. So, my younger self would be to spend more time with the loved ones, period.
Love that. I'm interested when you said protect your peace. How do you protect your peace?
How do you protect your peace? By surrounding yourselves with the loved ones, because they want the right things for you, which when you're young you feel like, okay, what I know is what I know, and that's the best. And you end up doing things that every youngster does, I guess. So, protecting your peace really is connected with how do you find peace when you're yourself, is really being surrounding yourself with the people that care about you and knowing that they come from the right place when they talk
Yes.
to you. So
Very important. I absolutely agree with that. Katie, I'd like to go back to the time when you said when you were a caregiver to your mom, who unfortunately has passed, for 2 years and a half, you have found your purpose. And that was when you started to stop chasing numbers and started chasing impact. And I'd like to believe that's how you live a meaningful life. For you, what does a meaningful life mean?
meaningful life goes beyond me. That's what it means to me. Can I make a difference in someone else's life? Are they able to live a better life because of whatever little part that I played in their life? Could be by getting someone the right job, could be by getting an organization the right people so that they could be achieved. So yeah, that's really what it is for me, Cherie.
Yeah,
So
beautiful.
it's not tangible, but if Elizabeth Fry, for example, since we brought that up, Elizabeth Fry was not looking for just another person to come and raise funds. It was about the impact that they create with the right person. And I think everybody is so blessed. It was not just Forrest reaching out to you, Cherie. It is about you making that impact. Yes, we became a mediator who were able to find, but by the end of the day, that finding you was definitely, it took a lot to find the right person, but it's the match between the two. The organization who had a dream, and now you are truly making that impact in the society. It's just not, this goes beyond fundraising, even for yourself, Cherie.
True.
It is about the difference that you're making in so many lives that you're touching.
Beautiful.
What it is.
Thank you so much, Katie. Thank you. What message would you like to leave for our listeners today who may feel stuck or uncertain about their path right now?
I would very easy for me to, leave anybody with a lesson, but we are all going through our own journey. The few things that help me is really meditation. I would recommend anybody. It's got nothing to do. It's about spirituality. Wherever you find the peace,
Yeah.
do it, and just know, no matter what you're going through, you're passing through, this time too shall pass, and you will get on the other side one way or another. The lessons that we are all learning by self, no money can buy these lessons. And these lessons help us grow more human. They help us stay connected with our loved one and just stay strong.
Yeah.
It'll all be okay by the end of the day. And it's okay not to be okay. Find somebody who understands you, talk to them, don't keep it inside because I did not pay too much attention to mental health initially, but I believe every mechanics are right. Everything in life would be right
Yeah.
because you got to protect your mental mechanics. This is protected with your life, literally. Surround yourself with the right people. Any negativity, stay out of it, stay away, and live your life. You've got only one life, and it's short, so live it.
Yeah. I love that. So true. We only have one life and we
Absolutely,
need to live it.
100%.
And so, yeah. So, Katie, where can people connect with you and learn more about Destination One Consulting?
100%. Well, Destination One, they can find us online on destination1.ca or .us, or they can go to LinkedIn, follow the page, stuff there. And we're working on some other exciting projects in about a couple of weeks. We are launching another advisory firm, very unique. Talk much about it, but I think about a couple of weeks or so. We're working on the last kinks, and through that, we are really making a lot of impact. Yeah. So
Yeah.
find us on LinkedIn.
Great. You do what you do best, Katie, and that is making impact. Thank you so much for your time and sharing your wisdom and your story with us.
It's been an honor, Cherie. It's been an honor, absolutely.
Thank you. And to our listeners, if you like this episode, please share it with your friends and hit that follow button of Life Expressions so you get notified each time we have a new episode here on Life Expressions. My guest, Katie from Destination One Consulting. Thank you so much. And don't forget, if you want to live, make a positive impact wherever you are, however you can, in all that you do. I'm your host, Shari Hinati Elon, here on Life Expressions. Till next time.